Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. Before I start this episode, go ahead and check out the new series. If you guys really like Naruto Badass Attitude, you guys are going to want to watch that one guys. Over on Anime King 2, what if Naruto was disowned by everyone? Go ahead and check that out and enjoy guys. And also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto is a Sasuke King on this channel and enjoy it as well guys. And also, I'm gonna be giving you What If Naruto was given a second chance part 14 right now. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And stay in tune because I'm gonna be posting What If Naruto learn the clone secret in the beginning. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys do enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what is we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last part we left off. Sasuke was shocked. Yes, he was utterly shocked. Because standing in front of him was a giant nine-tailed beast. As he could not understand, he thought that this thing had died. He thought that the fourth Hokage killed it. But Naruto explained to him that the nine tails cannot be killed. To ease Sasuke war, Naruto allowed the fox to go away. As the fox went off in the woods, in the mindscape. As he told Sasuke that if he ever think about betraying the village and going to seek power from someone else, he will kill him without a second thought. The way Naruto said it, Sasuke felt shivers run down his spine as he told Sasuke that Itachi will be coming after him. There's a group of S-rank criminals coming after people like him with Jinchurikis. Sasuke was rather confused because the way Naruto talked, he doesn't seem to be concerned about it, not even one bit. As he told Sasuke to stay here and train and get stronger, Kakashi hadn't even teach him half of what he knew yet, not even quarter. So just make Kakashi teach him whatever he knew, and who knew, he might help him as well. As they exit the mindscape, as Naruto told him that they will talk soon, as Naruto headed off. Naruto saw Gaara that night. As, when he's not playing around, Naruto can be quite dangerous. Gaara stood no chance, he quickly knocked him out. When Gaara woke up, he tried to kill anything in sight, what was around him, because he didn't understand where he was. But he saw Naruto and he could use his chakra, because he was in the room where Naruto sealed off chakra in here. As Gaara didn't hear any voice inside of his head, he didn't hear anything at all. As Naruto told him that he fixed his seal, so he will no longer be pestered by the one-tailed Tanuki. And they really need to talk. 3 days later, the council member of the stand was called. All of them. As Naruto came in the room, surprising them, the guards tried to dispose of him or hold him. But Gaara-san grabbed them as Naruto told them everything. That their Kazekage is dead, surprising Tamaru and Conqueror and everyone else. And that Orochimaru has been taking the lead. He's going to find a way to get them all out of this, but they have to do what he said. As they started to talk like they didn't see him as someone they could trust or anything, but he got angry and told them all to be quiet. Because he could just go back and report this to his Hokage, and then Konoha will come and crush the sand. As he told them that the attack will start on the finals, they already knew that. But instead of helping the sound, they will fight with Konoha to keep a good alliance between Konoha and them, so there won't be any war between them. After saying what he had to say, he left. As Naruto pulled Tamaru in the alleyway. Surprising her, she had walked away because she felt shame. She was going to betray him. She didn't know why she really cared, but she felt a bit of shame inside. As he then started to flirt with her in that alleyway, things started to get really heated as the both of them started to kiss. As he told her to wait. He wanted to wait and savor this moment. And when she truly knows what she wants, she should come and find him and tell him what she truly wants. As with that he left, not giving her a chance to tell him what she truly wants. As Naruto came back to Konoha, he arrived rather fast, seeing that he was using his full speed. Days passed as he arrived back at Konoha sneaking in. As he went to the hot spring to relax, he then heard her giggling as he smiled, knowing that voice very well. As Naruto ended up knocking out Ebisu Sensei, who saw Jiraiya peeping and was going to reprimand him. As Jiraiya then smiled when he heard the kid spoke. He already knew who this kid was, but Naruto tell him why. Why would he allow him to stop him from peeping on those girls? I mean, it's a wonderful thing to do to examine the woman's body. So yeah guys, that was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? What did you just say, kid? Asked Jiraiya. I said, why would I stop you from peeping? I mean, you're just examining a woman's body, which is the greatest thing in the world after all. Those curves, those voluptuous breasts. I mean, who could actually blame you? As Naruto walked past Jiraiya and looked through the hole, but you hardly can see anything. I mean, there's so much steam. Jiraiya was surprised. Most kids his age would be all flustered and be all acting like a child, but this kid, from one glance Jiraiya could tell that he was different. So, you're an visionary like me, said Jiraiya. Of course, Naruto said. Judging who you are, I must give you praise for writing those wonderful books. They're what teach me what I know today. A bigger smile came on Jiraiya's face. You read my books? Of course, Master Jiraiya, said Naruto with a proud smile. You are the author of the Ichi Ichi series, right? I mean, if someone doesn't really like your books, they're just a hypocrite, because those things are awesome. As you can see, Kakashi Hatake walks around every day reading in the public, despite there being a lot of sexual scenes in it, showing you how much he likes your book. As Jiraiya was stunned, this kid, I must say, I'm starting to like you, kid, he said. Sarutobi already told Jiraiya what is going on with Naruto, and his suddenly personality changed. But now seeing his change and his personality, Jiraiya didn't see anything wrong with it, because the kid liked his book. You know what? I have a better idea, said Naruto. What do you mean, said Jiraiya, as Naruto went into his pouch and started to write a seal. Jiraiya was stunned to how the boy just moved the brush and write so elegant. The kid knows we're around, for sure, which is surprise, showing his age. As Naruto finished his seal, as he placed it right in the wall of the hot springs, he then went to handstand and slammed his hand in the seal, channeling some chakra. It was then he heard screams going off. Jiraiya looked at him curiously. And what's that, he asked. Just follow me, said Naruto. As Naruto jumped up on top of the wall, surprising Jiraiya, the ladies would kill him if they saw him peeping. But they were screaming, but not him. Jiraiya was curious as he went up. He could see clearly, but there was a thick, dark mist over the entire place, shrouding the place in shadows. What did you do, Jiraiya whispered. Oh, just a simple seal. It blocks out entire light for as much chakra I put into it, so they can't really see anything that is going on. And we can enjoy the show right here, Nerd says he sat down, with a big goofy grin on his face. Jiraiya couldn't believe it. This was an awesome way of gathering intel and scene, but they were in chaos. He didn't like to see that. He loved when they were soaking and basking in their glory. It's awesome and all, kid, but they're in panic. Yeah, I know. I guess I have to work on that. Because who wouldn't be kind of upset if everything just went dark? I guess you're right, said Jiraiya was looking down as well. It was then the black mist started to clear away as all the girls looked up. Jiraiya blinked several times. Kid, I think your seal failed. Kid? But no one was beside him. That damn bastard, said Jiraiya before he was hit off the top of the wall. Get him, they screamed as the girls started to beat him to live in hell. Jiraiya was sent sailing before coming to a crash as the girls went back inside. As Jiraiya was twitching on the ground. You okay there, pervert, Naruto asked. What did you just call me, Jiraiya said, picking up himself like nothing just happened. Well, that fit, because you are a pervert after all. No, kid, that's where you got it wrong, said Jiraiya. You see, I'm not just a pervert. Well, not just any ordinary pervert. I am Jiraiya, the legendary Sannin from Mount Miyaboku, the Toad Sage, the super pervert, he said. As Naruto clapped, wonderful introduction. You think so? Said Jiraiya. As Naruto nodded, I'm really starting to like you, kid. But I'm confused, why are you here right now? Shouldn't you be off training with your Jonin senseis like the others? Or didn't you not make it towards the finals of the exam? You kidding me? Of course I made it, said Naruto. Really confident in yourself, aren't you, kid? Well, you can say that, said Naruto. Well, you see, my sensei went off to train the Uchiha. Kakashi, he has a Sharingan after all, so it's best suited that he train the Uchiha. And my other teammate, well, she's kind of completely useless, so she failed. So there's no need to train her. So that left me all alone. So didn't he leave any scroll or anything for you? Yeah, but those techniques aren't really that powerful. Hey, I know. What about you become my sensei? Jiraiya looked at him. And why would I accept such an offer? You know that it's a privilege and a benefit to be taught by a legendary Tonsani like me, right? Of course I know that, said Naruto. Oh, I know. Give me your honor, they said. For what, Jiraiya asked. Just trust me. It's gonna be worth it. As Naruto pulled out an ink and a brush. As he started to write, a symbol on the back of Jiraiya's forearm. As Jiraiya looked at him, before Naruto channeled chakra in it. It was then that Jiraiya found himself in a bed. This was a seal illusion. Where does this kid come up with these kind of ideas? And how does he so advanced in Fuinjutsu? Seeing that Fuinjutsu is a very complex art. Jiraiya blinked several times. Because in front of him, there was Tsunade. Completely naked as the day she was born. Showing all of her beautiful assets. Jiraiya blinked several times. Before he was snapped back to the real world. As he started to cry, what just happened? Kid, what was that? Oh, a special seal. It shows you what your heart truly desires. And it seems like yours was a good one. I mean, judging by the tint you're pitching her to say, turn his head around. What do you... Jiraiya looked down as he spun around in embarrassment. As there was a few awkward seconds of silence. Before Jiraiya cleared his throat. Well, that was embarrassing, said Naruto. But you don't have to worry about it. I mean, it must have been spectacular. How did you create that seal? And tell me and show me how to do it, Jiraiya said. As the man was right in Naruto's face, shaking at the anticipation of seeing Tsunade like that again. First, become my sensei. Say that you're gonna do it, and I'll show you, Naruto said. Jiraiya looked at him. Well, you've already impressed me in many ways. Sure thing, I'll become your sensei. But by the way you talk, it seems like you got everything under control. Well, considering that I have the most powerful nine-tailed demon inside of me, I should be able to beat any one of them. Jiraiya got serious a bit as he narrowed his eyes. Oh come on, why wouldn't you know? You're a son of this village after all. One of the only few S-rank ninjas. So, you probably know the secret already. Well, I do, said Jiraiya. But you shouldn't be talking about that so openly. Yeah, but no one's around. So, the way you speak of the power. Have you been in contact with the fox, Jiraiya asks. Well, once or twice. And he's really cool, you know. Cool, Jiraiya said surprised. What do you mean cool? Well, that's the only way I can explain it, he's cool. So, what are you gonna teach me, sensei? Well, I can't make you become a toad summon like me. Would you like that, Jiraiya said. Yeah, but I need something rather destructive for the exam. You know, like a signature jutsu. Something that will bring my name up. I mean, I was going through the history and the clan's record and all that. And I saw that you trained the 4th Hokage, am I right? Yes. 4th Hokage was one of my students. Well, so you probably know his signature move, the Rasengan, don't you? The Rasengan? So you know about that, said Jiraiya. Yeah, I was wondering, can you show it to me? Well, Jiraiya held out his hand as a Rasengan formed in his hand. Quite cool, isn't it? Yeah, it is, said Naruto. But it's not that easy to learn, kid, you know that. It's gonna take years of hard work. I mean, it took a long while for me to do it, Jiraiya said. But it wasn't that hard, he said, boasting. Well, I don't know, I'm a fast learner. So, you want the steps? Nah, I'll try to figure it out myself. What do you mean by that, said Jiraiya. If I don't tell you the steps, how will you do it? Just trust me, Naruto said, give him a wink. So what about that toad thing? Alright then, follow me, Jiraiya said. As him and Naruto went off, a few minutes later, they arrived to one of the clearings. First thing first, Jiraiya says he took the scroll off his back. Go ahead and sign up your name. Naruto bit his thumb as he placed his fingers down and signed his name in blood. There you go, you're now an official Toad Summoner. What about you give it a shot? These are the hand signs. As Jiraiya showed Naruto the hand signs. Naruto did the same thing, so he slammed his hand on the ground. Summoning Jutsu. There was a poof as a small toad appeared. The toad looked up. Huh? Who summoned me? I did, Naruto said, looking down. Oh, hi there. My name is Gamikichi. Who are you? Oh, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. It seems I'm a new toad summoner. Naruto Uzumaki, huh? Well, do you have any candy? As a matter of fact, Naruto said, reaching his pouch. I do. The toad eyes went wide as his tongue extended and took the candy from Naruto's hand. As he licked his lips. Whoa, that was awesome, he said. You have any more? Sorry about that. I'll probably get you some next time. You know what? You're cool, Gamikichi said. Mind if I stick around? No problem. Well, that's good, said Jiraiya. But why don't you put some more chakra into it? Jiraiya was surprised, to say at least, because when he was smaller and he tried to do it, he could only summon tadpoles. Alright then, more chakra you say. Naruto slammed his hands together. Jiraiya's eyes went wide. Kid, I think that is too much, he said. Summoning Jutsu. A massive smoke went off. Jiraiya, why have you summoned me here? You old pervert, said a voice. Jiraiya's eyes went wide. Oh my god, not him, Jiraiya said. As he looked around, he then dived off down towards the cliffside, hanging up against a wall. Jiraiya, where are you? Come out here. I told you the next time I see you, it will be your punishment for what you did. Jiraiya's sweat dropped as he gulped. Damn it, kid. Out of all the other damn toads, you have to summon him. As Jiraiya scratched the back of his head, remembering, when he was in a small town, well, he kind of used Gamabunta to escape from the Russian female population. And he kind of summoned a toad at the wrong time when he was currently taking a bath, so yeah, Gamabunta was really pissed at him. Jiraiya, you damn pervert, get out here now! As Naruto jumped off of Gamabunta's head. Hey yo, big guy, I was the one that summoned you. Huh? Said Gamabunta as he looked around, before finally spotting what he was looking at. As he was surprised for a second there. That blonde hair, that blue eyes. He looked just like him. Don't make me laugh, said Gamabunta. Now tell me, where's that pervert? Where are you hiding, Jiraiya? Hey Pops! Gamikichi? What are you doing here? Oh, you see, this guy summoned me and he was really cool, so I decided to stick around. But he's not lying. You see, he was the one that summoned you. Really? Said Gamabunta. Yeah, he's not lying. You can trust him. Well, if my son said you're not lying, I suppose I can believe you. So where's the pervert that gave you the scroll? Well, he's run off somewhere. So, are you gonna accept me as a toad summoner, Naruto asks? If that old pervert is confident enough to give you the scroll to sign your name, I suppose you're good with me, he said. Despite that pervert ways, he's still not a complete moron. I suppose we can get a drink together. Sure thing, Naruto said. Gamabunta was surprised because he thought that Naruto was about to turn it down. As Gamabunta then looked at him. Resummon me in 10 minutes, he said. Time skip, an hour later, a large force of Anvu were in the forest, along with ninjas, checking out what the problem was. Because all of a sudden, the village started to get attacked by empty jug that was filled with sake. As these jug were abnormally large. Lucky enough, no one got hurt, because they were just thrown at the Hokage's monument, hitting it, making the place kind of shake a bit. And they also heard loud thumping through the village and laughter. When they got there, they saw Naruto lying on the ground with a large toad beside him, as the both of them seemed to be in a rather hazy state. Gamabunta, seeing what was going on, he said goodbye to the kid along with Gamikichi as the both of them left, leaving behind the drunk Naruto. As Jiraiya intervened and took Naruto from them, as he headed off with Naruto, couldn't believe what he just witnessed. He was too afraid to come out because he thought that in that state Gamabunta might probably squash him. So he brought Naruto to the only place he thought that he could. Sometime later, what the hell happened, asked Sarutobi as he looked at Jiraiya. I mean, I never thought that the kid would accept the sake, but he did, and man could he drink. I mean, it's like he could outdrink Tsunade. What? Said Sarutobi as he looked at Jiraiya. Yeah, the kid didn't even stop. He was just going and going. He even outpaced Gamabunta for a second there, and that was when things got really crazy, as he challenged Gamabunta to a fight. Sarutobi quickly checked over Naruto, but he's fine. Yeah, Gamabunta just simply laughed it off, but he did smack Naruto into a tree, but the kid just got up back and started to drink again. Why didn't you stop them? Well, you see, I kinda pissed Gamabunta off, so I was afraid that he would probably squash me. Sarutobi sighed. The last time this happened, Yujiyo almost killed him. Wait, the last time it happened? Yeah. When becoming a Jenny, Naruto went out to celebrate by getting stone-faced drunk. And then yeah, she almost killed him. Wait. You're talking about that Anvu, right? Yeah, so why wasn't she there, asked Jiraiya. Well, she's currently bedridden right now. You remember what I told you happened? She was the one that took the blunt of it. Oh yeah, said Jiraiya. And you told me that kid was really pissed off. Well, he seemed to be getting over it, said Jiraiya. Well, she's okay, said Sarutobi. And everything seemed to be fine with him now. I'm glad though, said Sarutobi. Things were a bit touch and go there. He wasn't really talking or really doing anything. So what do we do with him now? Asked Jiraiya, as he looked at Naruto, who was mumbling to himself on the couch, and twitching a bit every now and then. Well, let him sleep it off. Sarutobi then waved his hand as the Anbus who were in the room went away. After that, he put up a silencing seal. As he looked over at Naruto still sleeping. I got a letter from the Mizukage, he said, looking at Jiraiya. It seems like things in Kyoto are back up to where they're supposed to be. Well, I was thinking about that as well, said Jiraiya. The war has been over for some years now. Yes. And Mizukage has been selected, and it seems like she has run the village quite well. Well, it seems like she was running things quite tight, said Jiraiya. I tried to go there, like I said, and I couldn't get in. They were under reconstruction, and no one is allowed in, except for the citizens that were there. Well, I wouldn't blame them, said Sarutobi. Things were bad there, and they couldn't just allow anyone to get in, even if you are famous to the elemental nations. Yeah, I guess I understand where that's coming from. But now they send a request. It seems like she wants an alliance with Konoha. They're currently reaching out to the other villages now to show that they're no threat or enemy. What are you gonna do? Asked Jiraiya. Well, accept it, said Sarutobi. If this is one step closer in bringing peace in the elemental nations, to bring a good future for the young ones like Naruto, he said, looking at Naruto. The wise thing to do is to accept it. So when is she coming here? Well, she heard about the Chunin exams and she wants to come and see the finals. So you're telling me that there will be 4 Kage in one place? Well, that kind of sounds like a bad situation even if it's not supposed to. Yes, I know what you mean. The Sand is our ally, but still. And Kumo, we have not been on good terms ever since what happened. And now the Mizukage is a whole different story. But to turn them down like that would be a really bad thing on my part. So I guess we just have to push through it, and just make sure that nothing happens. After all, you will be one of my guards. Jiraiya looked at him. Of course I'll be. And with the Toad Sage there, it's not like anyone's going to try anything. If you say so, said Sarutobi. Well, that is all. Hey! What's going on? Where am I? Said Naruto, as he turned and fell off the couch. As he looked around and saw the amused look on Sarutobi and Jiraiya's face. What happened? It seems like you overdid it, Naruto, said Sarutobi. I heard about your exploits with Gamabunta. Oh, you did? Can you please not tell Yuji about that? Right now she's in recovery and yeah, she's gonna be pissed off if she knew that I did this. Don't worry, my lips are sealed, said Sarutobi. And you too, Perfect Sage, said Naruto. Sarutobi chuckled. Perfect Sage, he said. Well, he doesn't really care about the name. The man actually went around and tell people that he's a super pervert. So I don't think he minds, do you, Jiraiya? Sensei, he said. Sarutobi, where does this Yu-Gi-Oh person live? Asked Jiraiya. Oh, she lives in Naruto's house. A little bit behind the Hokage's monument. Why? Well, the kid keep on disrespecting me and not calling me by my proper title, even though I am a sensei now. I think I'll go. As he went towards the window and opened the window. Don't you dare, said Naruto. As Jiraiya lifted up the window and looked at Naruto with a wink. See, old man, he said, as he jumped through the window. I gotta go, said Naruto. What's going on? Asked Sarutobi. He's gonna rat me out, said Naruto, as he jumped through the window as well. Sarutobi chuckled, unseen, the interaction with the two, despite the two of them just meeting. As things would have been real different if Jiraiya had stayed here, if he didn't have his spy network and actually been Naruto's godfather, as he wondered how things would have turned out. No, he shuddered at the thought to think Naruto becoming a super pervert like Jiraiya. Well, Jiraiya did write those books that he secretly had, that no one really knew about. Well, except for Naruto, who saw it. One day the kid is going to use that to get something that he wants from him. Time skip. Lucky for Naruto, Jiraiya didn't actually go to his house and tell Yuji or anything, because she would have crawled herself out of bed despite the state that she was in and tried to beat him to death. But she would have also blamed Jiraiya as well. Right now we currently have Naruto and Jiraiya in the training field, as the both of them came to a stop, as neither of them are really panting and sweating even hard. I must say, compared to combat wise, I believe you're one of the strongest genins in this village, but you're still at least 100 years too young to defeat me. As Naruto smirked to himself, little did Jiraiya know that he was holding back a very lot, so just take him easy so he wouldn't find out anything too much. So, I showed you the Rasengan a couple weeks ago. Have you started working on it yet? Well, it's gonna be a surprise for the finals. You know, kid, that jutsu can be very destructive if not done properly. Let me show you the steps and show you how to work on it. Nah, Naruto said it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. Jiraiya sighed. Just don't get your arms blown off, he said. As he thought that Naruto would be worried now, but he didn't get that all from Naruto. Naruto simply smiled back at him. He had to say the kid was fast. Yes, at least high tuning level. And when compared to strength, the kid had brute raw strength. That was really surprising for a kid his age, as he was now excited to see how the kid would do in the exams. Naruto, a voice cried out. As Naruto turned his head, Ino was rushing up towards the group with a smile on her face. As she came up to Naruto, and the kid is also good with the chicks, said Jiraiya to himself. Ino, Naruto said, what are you doing here? As he thought to himself, she did ask him where he was going to go today. Well, I knew you have been training hard for the upcoming tuning exams, so I brought you some lunch, she said, as she had 3 instant ramen. As Naruto looked at her with a smile on his face. "Aw, you didn't have to do that," he said. "Oh, I wanted to," she said. "Oh, and that's make you all the more special," he said as he stepped forward. He took them from her and placed on the ground. "You know, not many people go out of their way to do this. I must say, you made my heart fluttered just by your actions," as he took her hand. Ino blushed as he placed it right on his chest. So muscular, she thought. "Can't you feel it? My heart's skipping a beat because of this kind act that you have done for me. I mean, I could almost kiss you for this." "Well, why don't you?" she asks. "Oh, do you want me to?" he asks. As Naruto went closer to her, Ino waited for the kiss as she prepared for it, but he didn't do it. She could feel his breath, but he wasn't kissing her, as she slowly opened back her eyes. As he placed a hand on her chin, "I don't feel that this is the right moment," he said. "What about after the exams when I kick everyone's ass? I'll just take you and hold you in my arms and plant a passionate kiss on your lips. I assure you, that kiss will make you feel wobbly all over." As he placed his hand on her back and started to run his hand across her back, for you to feel something light up in your spine, for you to feel a jolt. That is what a true kiss is, he said. As Ino was now blushing and feeling herself getting all kinds of hot by the way he was talking and just touching her. Okay, she said. "Oh, and thanks again for the ramen," he whispered in her ear, as he slowly kissed her ear, making Ino shiver at the touch. As he turned himself and started to walk back over, as Ino blushed a bit before heading off, hiding her face that was extremely red. Jiraiya blinked several times as he still couldn't he couldn't even form a proper sentence. So what just happened? This kid wasn't also already powerful at his age. He wasn't also a smooth talker, but he was a lady killer. As Jiraiya couldn't believe it, he started to wipe his eyes. Minato would be so proud, he thought to himself. The kid was already a lady killer. "Kid, I must say you're something else." Come on, don't go get weepy on me, Pervisage. I'm just so happy, Jiraiya said. I thought I would have to be the one to teach you how to handle a woman. But I can already see that you have already gone full well in those strive. I must say, kid, congratulations, Jiraiya says. He started to clap. You know, for that act, I'm going to teach you a jutsu, he said. Yes, I believe that just deserves something special. As Naruto simply smirked. Well, if you think so, he said. Time skip. It was a day before the exams. As Konoha, people were already started to file in from the other nations to stay the night at the hotels to wait for the Chunin exams final. Naruto was called to the office as he didn't know why, as he was planning on just going home and relax. He hasn't seen Sasuke yet, but he knew that Sasuke must be training hard. But he knew that Sasuke's mind must also be racing about all the kind of questions that he was waiting for him to ask. As Naruto arrived at the Hokage's tower, as he arrived around the corner to go into the office when he saw someone sitting outside. The person was just there waiting. As he walked up, as the person lifted up her head, Naruto, she said, as she got to her feet. She gave him a bright smile. Ren? What are you doing here? He asked, confused. Oh, well, you see, my father has to be here for Chunin exams. Oh, said Naruto, cutting her off. So you follow him here to come and see me? Well, I want to see the exams, yes, and I also wanted to visit you. You know, to thank you again for saving me. Oh, come on, you already repay me for that. Huh, she said. Come on, don't tell me you've forgotten. She touched her lips. No, I haven't, she said. Come on, bring it in. I mean, we are practically good friends after all. I suppose so, she said, as she opened her arms to give him a hug, but he came rather close and hugged her. She then felt rather nervous because his hands were moving around her body, and he was doing it in a slow and passionate feeling to make her feel really hot. You know, I was hoping that I would see you again very soon, Naruto said, because I can't seem to get that kiss off my mind. I was wondering, can I get another one? She looked around, but what if someone sees, she asked. Come on, no one is out here. She was rather nervous, seeing that her father didn't know about this. She didn't tell him or anyone else. What if they got caught? They then heard talking, as she got rather flustered and pushed out her arms, hitting Naruto right on the chest, pushing him back a bit. Her eyes went wide, realizing what she did, as she thought that her father was coming out of the tower, but it wasn't that. As Naruto wasn't looking where he was going, but he sensed something behind him as he turned around just in time. But his face landed in something rather soft. Something rather just soft like a pillow, like he wanted to sleep on. As he didn't feel like opening his eyes. But he knew these were breasts, but whose? My, I mean, you're straightforward, aren't you? As he blinked several times hearing that voice. As he wondered, slowly stepping back and lifting up his head, he saw that it was Mei Terumi, the current Mizukage. His thoughts started to drift. Yeah, he was a real man slut in his own life. And this woman here, well, she was a freak. That was the only way to put it. Because she wanted to do all these kinds of exploring and all that. And he kind of also slept with her sister, Mai. Well, it was just a spur of the moment thing. And he was kind of drunk, waking up the next morning. Well, they did do it at least 3 more times. Oh, I apologize, Naruto said. But I must say, you're quite elegant. I don't think I ever saw a beautiful person like you ever before. As he made sure not to talk too loud because Ren was right behind him. And he's been in these situations before, and he knew how to get hold of them and knew what to do. A little kid so charming. It seems like Konoha is quite the place. No, it's not Konoha, it's just me, Naruto said. I mean, who wouldn't admire your beauty like that? I apologize again, he said, as he stepped aside. Your apology has been forgiven, she said as she walked past him. As Naruto noticed there was a boy with her, as he was glaring daggers at Naruto. It then happened. Naruto's heart froze when he saw the next 2 persons. One of them was Zabuza, who was giving Naruto a short-like grin. And the next person, he was so focused on me and remembering what happened, he did not even see her. As Haku was there, giving him a rather angry glare, he turned his head and looked towards the wall, as the 3 of them walked past. Ren rushed up to him. Naruto-kun, she said. I'm so sorry, I could have gotten you in trouble, she said. Oh, don't worry, Naruto said. It's not your fault. As Haku heard everything that he just said. Well, he was a flirt. It's not like he did anything. Hey, wait, Ren, were you the one that called me Naruto asked? Oh, yes, I sent the Hokage to call you. Sorry, it wasn't really for anything, she said. I just wanted to see you. Oh, don't worry, you don't have to have a reason to call me. I mean, who wouldn't mind staying and looking at your face all day? God, you're beautiful, he said, as she blushed. He then looked around as he held onto her arm and started to pull her away. As the both of them turned the wall, there was a room there. It seemed that it was in the night time. Most people have already gone home. As he opened the door and went inside, closing behind her. What are we doing here? I mean, you did call me for this, he said, as he stepped forward. Oh, I just wanted to see you again, she said, all flustered. The last time he took her in his arms and kissed her, she wanted to feel that same feeling again because she has been thinking about it the entire time. It hasn't left her mind once. And she also dreamed about it. As he grabbed her, as she was placed firmly against his body, as she could feel that he was well built under this clothing. For someone so young. Without even talking or saying anything else, he planted his lips on hers. As she felt that same passionate pleasure that she felt that night. It was truly wonderful. She leaned into the kiss, getting all hot and flustered, until the both of them had to breathe for air. She didn't know what took over her, but her hand went into his hair and started to comb through it as she pulled him close until her hands went down. And her mind just slipped for a moment there as she lifted and pulled off his shirt in one quick motion, and he allowed her to do it. He leaned back in the kiss and the both of them started to kiss even more. His hands then came up, making her squeak. As she looked down to see his hands on her breasts, massaging them. As she started to release a slow moan. She was getting hyperventilated as she was taking in breaths faster than before. Looking around, what was she doing? What if they got caught? Stop, she said, as she looked at him. I guess I got caught up in the motion, he said to her. I don't mean I don't like you or anything, she said, but it's really dangerous to do anything here. I mean, we're in the Hokage's office. Well, not his office exactly, but what if my father or anyone comes here? I guess you're right. Sometimes my brain is not the one that is thinking. As she blushed intensely, realized what he was talking about. I guess it can't be helped, she said. You are a man after all. As her eyes then wandered down, looking down. Naughty, naughty girl, he said. What were you looking at? Nothing, she said, turning her head. Don't worry, he said as he went towards her ear. Next time we can go all the way. I mean, once this is all over, I could just invite you to my house, and we can spend the entire day together. I mean, you can talk to your father and tell him that you'll be fine with me. It's not like anyone in Konoha will dare to try anything against you. And besides, I'll be there to protect you no matter what. As she looked at him, I'll have to make up an excuse because he'd want to send KO with me. I'll try my best, she said, as she couldn't help herself. She didn't know what take over her, but she was agreeing to everything that he said, and she was going along with it because she liked it as well. As he put on back his shirt, she fixed up her shirt and fixed up her skirt as well, because his hands were getting rather low there, but he was stopped by her before he could actually do anything or remove anything. As they then came out of the room one by one, as she looked around first, no one was there. I'll see you later, she whispered. Before she could move off, he grabbed her hand and pulled her towards him and planted a kiss on her lips. See ya, he said, as he went off. She pressed up against the wall as she went down. What is wrong with her? Was it just her or was it him? It seems like he just had a magical way to deal with ladies or something. Time skip, the next day. Naruto was at his house as he knocked on the door. Who is it? Said a voice. Who else? He asked. We need to talk, he said. As Uncle slowly opened the door. She came to visit Eugeo last night, but she went to bed rather early. Well, she's probably just trying to avoid him, as they haven't really talked since the thing happened. She was trying to give him space to adjust because she didn't tell him until 5 days passed, and she still thought he was angry at her, and she was scared to face him, so that is why she hasn't really said anything to him yet. Come on, uncle, open the door. I'm indecent, she said. When was the last time that stopped you, he asked. I'm busy, she said. You're in my house. What could you be busy doing, he asked. You're not home. As she sighed, she walked over and opened the door. Alright, what is it, she asked. Come on, don't be that way, he said. Can't I come in? In my own house, he said. It's your house, do what you want, she said. She stepped aside. As he came into the room. Why didn't you sneak into my bed as usual, he asked. Oh, so you like that, she asked. But he wasn't smiling. I know I said I just want some time alone back then. But I didn't mean for you to just completely stay away from me. I've been looking for you for the entire time, but you were basically hiding. I wasn't hiding, Uncle said. Come on, I know when you're hiding. And you came here last night, you didn't even say a word to me. You just came here, you checked on UJO, but the time was too late. So she told you to stay. And you stayed, but you took another bedroom. And instead of sneaking into my room like you always did, you just stayed here the entire night. I'm sorry, he said. You don't have to apologize to me. I was the one that was... No, you're not. I was just too angry. And I got angry at everyone around me. You saw that I almost killed that stone guy, right? Yeah, I saw that. Well, that bastard deserved it for what he said. Yeah, I know that. But you should know I'm not angry at you. And I never was really angry at you. I was just blowing off steam. So, sorry, I guess. So can you forgive me, he asked. She walked over. Come on, I told you have nothing to apologize about. Well, so we're friends again, Naruto asked. Well, we were always friends, she said. Good. I mean, when we get a bit older, and the both of us have to have sex to blow off some steam, I don't really want, like, there to be any awkwardness between us because we haven't talked in a long while. Uncle blinked several times. What? Who said that I will... Well, you said that you'd wait for me. And I mean, you want me at my peak condition, right? When I know how to do things to please a woman. And you, Joe, if she ever finds out, she would be pissed off if you did something to me at this age. So I suggest that we hold off. I don't want to really make her too mad. And who said I'll do anything with you, Uncle asked. Come on, said Naruto as he stepped forward. Can you really turn me down if I ask? Getting quite confident, are you, kid? Said Uncle. How about I bend you over that bed and show you what confident is, he asked. Uncle blinked several more times as she blushed. What? She said. You heard me, said Naruto. Because the way you speak, like I can't handle you. And you really think you can handle me, she said, stepping forward. Oh, you have no idea what I can handle. So, anytime the door then slammed wide open. What the hell is going on? Said Yujiro at the door. As she looked around it too. She glared at Uncle before glaring at Naruto. I always told you, Uncle, he's still a kid. Stop flirting with him and all those stuff. And you, stop going along with it, she said as she grabbed Naruto by the shirt and started pulling him out of the room. As Uncle just watched and smiled. But that kid, he was quite the charmer after all. If things continued down this path, he was going to slay every single girl in Konoha if he has his way. Yujiro then stopped in front of his door. The Chunin exams are today, she said. Go and have a bath and get dressed and get ready. Fine, Naruto said. She then hugged him. You know I always believe in you, right? She said. And it don't matter what happened today. I'm always proud of you. Naruto hugged her back. And you know, I'm still gonna become a Chunin despite what happens. Because there's not really anyone there that can beat me. She smiled. Don't be too overconfident, she said. There are always stronger ninjas out there. But I believe in you 100%. You can do it, she said. Thanks, he said. But she did not let him go. You can let me go now, he said. Oh, I was just wondering. What is this I heard about you drinking with a toad and getting drunk? Once more she asked him. As Naruto felt her grip tightening on him. Time skip. It was still a bit early. As Konoha was bustling with activities, everyone going towards the stadium, everyone looking at the roster, who will be fighting today, bets were already being placed. As Naruto was walking through the streets of Konoha, he had on a black shirt, with a white cape over it, with flames on the bottom of that cape and his long, golden hair going down, as he had his swords and everything all strapped on him, as he was heading towards the Hokage's tower. as he arrived and walked up the stairs. Arriving there, he saw that the Mizukage was there, and this time alone. She was just leaving the office. Seemed like some final talks or something like that. As he smiled, she looked at him and greeted him with a smile. "It seems like God has shined upon me again," he said. "What was that?" she asked. "I mean, this could only be the hand of God, right? To make me to see such a beautiful face over again. Quite little charmer, are you?" "Well, I have to be when in the presence of a goddess," he said to her. And she felt her cheeks getting a bit hot by that. This kid was quite something else. But she was a flirter herself as well. "You talk all big and brash," she said. "But do you have the stamina and the strength to back it up?" she said, getting closer to him. As she looked at him, she frowned a bit when she didn't even see him fluster or anything like that. He just smiled at her. "Can I speak to you freely?" Naruto asked. "What do you mean?" "You have been speaking to me freely. Well, the things I want to say. Despite us joking around, you're still high above me. You're a Mizukage after all. So you know about that," she said. "But I'm curious, what did you want to say? Can I speak freely?" She nodded. "Go ahead." "Well, you asked me if I had the stamina and strength to back it up. Why don't we..." Naruto was stopped when the door to the office suddenly opened up. "Ah, Naruto-kun," said Sarutobi as he stepped outside. Mei frowned a bit because she wanted to hear what he had to say, but the Hokage was here. "So I seen that you already met Mizukage." "Yes, and she's quite delighted," said Naruto. "Well then, gentlemen, I'll be on my way," she said as she started to walk off. "So Naruto, what is it that you came to see me for?" "Well, I just wanted to ask, this is a big event after all. And Orochimaru was in the forest. Are you sure that you won't be here?" Sarutobi looked at Naruto. "Don't worry, Naruto. Even if he comes back, everything will be handled. I'm just worried about you and Yujiro," said Naruto. "Because if you have any grudge, he will try to attack you to get his revenge on Konoha. And he went after her, so there's no telling if he'll do it again." "You don't have to be worried," said Sarutobi as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "He won't harm her ever again, or you or anyone else in this village." As Naruto touched Sarutobi on his hand, "Thank you," he said, as he moved his hand away from Sarutobi. Sarutobi nodded. "Today is your big fight," he said. "And I know you're gonna do me proud. But you know you have to be careful. You are going up against a Jinchuriki after all." As Naruto smiled, "Don't worry, I'll be able to take her down," he said, "and make you and everyone else proud." "That's all I want to hear," said Sarutobi. And with that they left. Moments later, Naruto was walking through the streets as he came to a stop as he was heading toward the stadium. Because at distance away from the entrance was Haku and Zabuza. "Huh, so you made it," said Zabuza, as he looked down at Naruto. "It seems like Kira has been treating you well." "Well, ever since that unknown tip, I have been reinstated in Kira's ranks. Even Haku here as a high-level chunin." "Oh, so that's the reason why you didn't take the chunin exam this year," Naruto said. "You already won," as he looked at Haku. But she wasn't smiling with him. She was kind of pissed at him, as he didn't say anything about it. "So, aren't you supposed to be protecting your Mizukage?" said Naruto as he looked at Zabuza. "Well, she'll be perfectly fine, and besides Hojiro is with her. But I'm going there right now. I just want to say good luck," he said. "Just because we don't have a team in the exam, I can still watch a fight. And I can't wait to see your fight," Zabuza said. "Good luck, kid," as he walked off. Haku did not move though. "Oh, and watch out for Haku," he mouthed the words. "She's a bit angry." As Naruto gulped, it seems that the temperature right around him just dropped. Haku," Naruto said as he turned towards her. "Come on, don't give me that look." "What look?" she asked. "That disapproving look. I mean, you know how I talk. And besides, she's her Mizukage and she's a lot older than me. What the hell do you think I would do?" As Haku looked at him for a few seconds. "I suppose you're right about that. But that attitude of yours," she said. "Why, you hate it? I mean, we only had 2 kisses. Do you already see me as someone that you've fallen deeply for?" "Don't make me laugh," she said. "Really? I'm hurt," he said to her. I thought... Wait, Haku said. "I didn't..." as he smiled at her. "Come on," he said. "You don't have to get all so flustered up. It's not that I could get mad at you in any way possible. Why is that, Haku asks. Come on, look at yourself. You look like some kind of an ice goddess. It would be just a pleasure to walk beside you. Shall we? He says. He placed a hand out. Haku looked at him. Wouldn't this be strange for Akira Ninja and Konoha Ninja to be locked in arms, going towards the stadium, when we have just came here for an alliance? Well, that would make it all the much better, said Naruto. I mean, wouldn't it show more trust when there is a ninjas from different villages holding arms and even smiling and talking to each other? I suppose you're right, she said. She held out her arm as he took it. As the both of them walked towards the stadium, as she told him what she has been up to for the past few months, going on random missions and all that, nothing too dangerous. And she's been enjoying life. As they stopped, as they entered the stadium, they broke apart. Well, I'll see you later, she said. Can we have a talk before we go? As he looked at her with a smile. You mean, you want me to kiss you before you go? I didn't say that, she said. Oh, I'm hurt. I thought you would have wanted to kiss me, he asked her. Well, I didn't say no on that either. As he smiled. Well, we missed out a lot on Wave, because you had to go. But this time, I'm sure that you guys will stick around for a bit longer, because you have to talk and sign the papers and all that. And that is Hokage's work, so you don't have to be there. You could be at my house, he said. And we can be doing all kinds of things. Like what? He winked and walked away. Like what, Haku asked, but he did not say anything. It was then that Naruto came to a stop as Baki came right beside him. So, is everything ready, Naruto asked. Yes, we got the story straight. We will keep your name out of it, only if you keep your word. I already told you 100% I won't tell even a single soul. You don't have to worry about that. So have you seen him, Naruto asked. Yes. Chiyo and I have seen him. And you're right, he doesn't even want to talk to anyone of us. He doesn't even show his face. That snake bastard. It took a lot of willpower not to just go over there and try to kill him. Well, you did the right thing because he would have cut you down without even a second thought. But don't worry. He won't be living past this day. When the signal is given, everything will start. So be ready, Naruto says he walked off. Ah, my favorite three siblings, Naruto said. As he looked over. Yo man, said Kankuro. I can't believe what's about to happen. Well, believe it. Because if you don't get yourself ready, you'll probably get killed. Huh. Not like any of these punk sound ninjas can kill me. Uzumaki, said Gaara. Gaara, feeling much better, Naruto asked. Yes. I've had some good night's sleeps, Gaara said, in this past month. Thank you again for what you have done for me. I don't know how I can repay you. Like I said, Gaara, we both share the same burden. So, I want nothing in return. Just to know that you're okay. Gaara nodded at him. Hello there, Tamar, Naruto said, as he looked at her with a smile. Tamar looked at him as she gave him a nod. She was looking quite flustered already, just by looking at him. Well, we should get up there, Naruto said, as the group started to walk forward. As Tamar could feel his eyes on her, she didn't want to turn around, not even one bit. Uzumaki said a voice, as Naruto turned. Ah, you know, you've been gone for a long time now, Naruto said. I didn't even get to talk to you. You see, something happened so I wasn't in the right state of mind. But I heard that we're going to be fighting. Yes, said Yujito as she looked at him. That's too bad, he said. Why is that? Are you scared of being defeated? Or hurt? Don't worry, I won't hurt you too bad. Oh, none of that, said Naruto. You see, as he stepped forward, it would be best if I spend my time just having sex with you. Other than fighting. I mean, fighting is all that sweaty, and groping and all that, and hitting. Well, sex is just like that, but you receive a lot more pleasure. So what do you say? How about we both call it quits, and just go and have sex? She blinked a few times. You can't be serious, can you? Well, I'm not joking or laughing, he said, so I must be serious. She tried to fight down the blush. Come on, kitten, you know you want to ride him all day long. Why are you holding back? Be quiet, Nibi, said Yujito. Look, I'm not going to do all of those nasty things with you, okay? We're going to be fighting today. And I will win. Oh, you think so? Yes, of course I know so, she said, with a challenging look on her face. Oh, if you're so confident, then what about this? If I win, I get to kiss you and touch you anywhere I want for a good 1 minute. She blinked several times before just staying silent. Come on, kitten, you know you want this. And that's not too long, 1 minute. And who knows, you probably like it. Be quiet, she said, as Nabi just chuckled in her head. Why does her Biju have to be such a pervert, she thought to herself. And what if I win, she said, looking at Naruto. Oh, you get to do whatever you want with me. What exactly do you mean by that? I mean anything. Any sorts of things, he said. You can even ask me questions if you want, anything at all. And you will tell me anything I want to know. Well, yeah, that is the deal. So if I win, you will tell me anything at all. Of course, Naruto said. And if I win, you know what I get. Alright, fine, she said. But I'll win. Oh, and there's one more thing that I forgot to mention. You see, you're gonna have to stay away from me in this battle. What do you mean? She asks. Well, it's that you're just so attractive. I don't know if I can keep my hands off you in battle. I might accidentally grope you or something. And with that he walked away. What? She said to herself. You heard him. He might accidentally grope you. What if he just takes you in his arms in front of all these people, strip you down naked and... She cut the link quickly with the nibi, as her face was extremely red. As some way, and Karu came up on her side. Hey, what was going on? Asked Karu. Nothing. Then why are you so red? Asked Samui as she looked over Yujito. Do you have a fever or something? Asked Samui as she looked over her. No, I'm fine. Or were you flirting again? She asked. Flirting? What are you talking about? She asked, looking away. With him. As Karu looked over. Yeah, with that blonde-haired kid. You're always flirting with him despite not knowing him so well and from a different village. Do you like him or something? Of course not, she said. At that moment, Naruto turned as they made eye contact. As he winked at her. Did he hear me? She thought. No, he couldn't have. She shook her head as she started to walk off. Come on, let's just get there. But guys, be any so right here. For the next part, guess or know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the notifications stay posted, and also stay in tune for What If Naruto learned the clone secret in the beginning. And also go ahead and check out the new series, What If Naruto was disowned by everyone. And also guys, I post a new episode of What If Naruto was a Sasuke King. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. But for now, I'm out of here guys. Peace.